Most agents, when they send out a just sold postcard, they send out a postcard like this. So let me ask you a question. I want you to put yourself into the mindset of a homeowner. You're thinking about selling your home anytime over the next several months. And you're trying to decide, who do I call to sell my home when I'm ready to put it on the market? When you get this postcard from Bill Smithson, what does this do to you emotionally? Does this make you want to choose him? How does this impress you with Bill's expertise and trust?
It doesn't do, I won't say anything for me, but it does very little for me. Like, there's no details. I'd be interested in knowing what it sold for, how long it took to sell, at a minimum.
Okay, perfect. All right. So now I want to show you how to influence the homeowner with just a few words. I'm not going to change anything on this postcard, except I'm going to add a few words. Okay. I did it again. Another one sold at the top of the market price. Now, if you were to compare this postcard with the one without the words, what's the impact of those words?
Mega difference.
Mega difference. Okay. So give me, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best, where would you rate this postcard on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of impact to you in wanting to choose Bill?
2.
2. When I add these words, now what does it do to you?
Bumps it up significantly, probably to a 5 or 6, maybe even 7.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Can it get better than that?
Yes.
Okay. So right now, by adding a few words, it's gone from a 2 to between a 5 and a 7. So let's call it a 6. So by adding a few words, I've just increased the effectiveness by 3 times. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're going to add a few more words. This home had been on the market 180 days with another agent without selling. I listed it at the same price and sold it in only 5 days for full price.
Whoa.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. So now this makes a big impact, doesn't it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if this card was a 6, and we're going to lift the limit from a 10 to beyond that, okay? Mm-hmm. Then what number would you give this card in terms of impact that it makes to you, the homeowner?
Wow. Oh man. 16.
16. Actually, we've tripled it again from 6 to right about 16. Let's just call it 18. So it's a triple, okay? Okay. So what we're finding is, by adding a few words, we triple the results. By adding a few more words, we triple the results again. So now we're at 9 times greater impact. Let me ask you, what's causing the impact? Why are you increasing the level of impact? What is it doing to you?
Because it's increasing my trust in his expertise. And if one agent is sat on the market for 180 days and nothing changed about it, then obviously he's doing something right.
There you go. So this is where, in order to get your inside reality to be perceived as their outside perception of you, you have to educate them. You have to educate them on the sales that you do and what's significant about those sales and how you accomplished it, for them to understand why you're better than others. Is this making sense?
It does make sense.
So now the question is, can it get any better?
I think you're going to figure out a way to make it better.
You think so? You have confidence in me, huh?
I do.
All right. Well, you are absolutely right. So now we're going to change the design a little bit, and we're going to go to this design. Okay. Now, what's the first words that hit you on this design?
Let's see. Sold this home in 5 days for full price.
Perfect. So what I want you to see first is going to hit your eyeball first. So what this is up here is called a headline. So let me just kind of show you the design elements, part of the things that we tested. Everything is in normal print. Very few things are in reverse print. Reverse print loses about 8.5 times the conversion result. So everything we do is a dark font on a light color background. It starts with the headline. The purpose of the headline is to create curiosity, so they will want to read the card. Notice right here, it says, here's how ... The purpose of the ... is to create curiosity, to pull them from the headline to the first sentence. The purpose of the first sentence is to get them to read the second sentence, and the purpose of the second sentence is to engage them on the third, because if I can engage them to the third sentence, I know I have a 2/3 chance they're going to read the entire thing. So all this is built with best practices of marketing in mind. The homeowner doesn't know that, but we know that this is what drives results. So now I'm going to read this for you. I know you can read it, but I'm just going to read it, and then I'm going to ask for your impression. So you first thing you see is sold this home in 5 days for full price. You go, wow. So now you're going to read the full headline. After 180 days with another agent without selling, Bill Smithson sold his home in 5 days for full price. Here's how, ... Bill did it again. He sold this home at the top of the market price. How, ... That drives him to the next sentence. He follows a proven 4-step process he created that consistently works. ... That means continue reading. So number 1 is preparation. He helps coordinate handymen and painters to ensure your home is fully prepared to make a great first impression. Second is pricing. He knows the limit to push the listing price without exceeding the market. Properly priced homes always get top dollar. Third is presentation. 95% of buyers start their search online. He uses professional photos and videos in his online marketing to attract the best buyers' attention. And fourth is promotion. He aggressively markets your home using a proven 21-step strategy that finds more buyers. More buyers means more offers and a higher sales price. Mm-hmm. So now, Cherise, is this better than the previous card?
Yeah.
That looks like, okay.
Absolutely.
So if this card was an 18, where would you place this card in terms of persuasiveness in choosing Bill?
Like a 75.
Like a 75. Okay, so let's see, 75 divided by 18. That's another 4 times increase, okay? Mm-hmm. So now we were at 9 times better than just the regular sold. Now we're 4 times above that, so that puts it at 36 times increased results by modifying the design and by adding some content. Does this make an impact? Does this make sense? Mm-hmm. Now, I'll have agents that tell me, well, gosh, that's too much writing. No one will read it. But yet what survey finds when you test it is the person who's thinking about selling their home will read it because that's why it produces more results. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So now that we've got this format down of how do you start to persuade people, this is why we call this field-tested, performance-driven postcards. We know what drives the results. So can it get any better?
Sure it can.
Yeah, but you don't know how, but I do, right?
Right.
So the next thing we did is we add an integrated StealthTracker technology to our postcards. And this allows us to identify sellers before they go on the market. This goes back to Lee's comment when people asking how quickly do people typically get responses in postcard. And if you do traditional standard postcard marketing, it's a crapshoot. And you may be marketing to a farm for a year, year and a half before you get your first listing. What we have found is by the use of StealthTracker technology with our marketing, that with the right amount of homes and depending on your list and stuff, and I'll show this to you in just a moment, but it's not uncommon that our clients will get a listing from their very first mailing, okay? Or sometimes if not the first mailing, maybe the second mailing. It's not guaranteed. There are a lot of variables, but the primary thing is it's a lot faster in getting listings. So let me show you how this works. So this is the address side of the postcard. It's basically broken down into 2 panels. The normal panels, right? Who you are and where we're mailing to. And then what we call the direct response panel. So I want to focus on the direct response panel. Using the same best practices in marketing, the first thing we do is a headline that's focused only on someone who's thinking about selling your home. So let me ask you, Cherise, if you got this postcard and you're thinking about selling, and you see, are you thinking about selling your home? Are you more likely or less likely to read whatever it's going to say?
More likely.
Okay, so the headline grabs your attention and brings you into the main copy. And the main copy says, I may get you top dollar immediately because of special buyers I have. Many are looking for a specific type home and often pay full price to get it. Learn what they typically look for and see if your home is a match. If it is, call me immediately, scan the code. If you're thinking about selling, you read that, are you more likely to throw the postcard away or scan the code?
Scan the code.
So now we're going to scan the code. So watch the sequence. Grab your attention, create interest, create a call to action, okay? So when you scan the code, you're going to that URL. That URL and that code is unique to this postcard, meaning if we're mailing out 100,000 postcards, we're mailing out 100,000 unique QR codes and URLs. So what happens is as soon as you scan it, it hits our system. We match that code directly to the person that we mailed it to. So now simply by you scanning that code, you don't even know that we now know exactly who you are. So we send you to the website to get that information. and we send a notice over to Bill Smithson that says, Sharice, or in this case, Melissa Maraha, right, has just visited your website. So now this gives you a chance while they're visiting your website that you can actually get on the phone with them and start to follow up or do whatever the follow-up process. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.